Water is essential to all life on Earth. It connects the trees of the rainforest to the trees of coral under the sea. But what happens when our ecosystem is out of balance? What is water?
I like to swim in it. I like to play in it.
What is water? Water is life. Water is fun. It's small kid time memories.
It has a lot of kind of magical properties. It's polar, it expands when it's cold, and it's necessary for all of life's processes.
It makes oxygen for us.
As I learned in survival training, you can live without food, but you cannot live without water.
It's not just to live, it's also to have fun, like water sports.
I like to swim with my friends in the water.
I was told there was a prophecy that was given for the people who found Hawaii, that as navigators, and when they left where they came from, that they would find the water.
Kawai'ula means the water of life.
As a coral reef biologist, water to me is my life. It is my career. I study the organisms that live in clean tropical coastal waters.
To me, water is probably the most important natural resource of our planet.
Invasive species, urbanization, and pollution place stress on our ecosystem, so it's no longer in balance. This threatens the life, health, safety, and well-being of people, the environment, and all living things. Why should we care about clean water?
Because if we don't drink clean water, you could spread around a disease, get very, very sick.
Just think if our water was polluted and everyone were to get sick, the epidemic would spread and our island community would suffer quite a bit.
Clean water means a healthy and well-balanced ecosystem. And it's important that we try to maintain and sustain such a healthy environment.
Coral reefs thrive on clean water. So coral reefs supply us with food. They are natural seawalls that protect us from storms. They support the tourism that is our economic driver, and we get medicines from them.
If we don't have clean water, things in the ocean, stream, or river would die.
Not a single living thing would probably be able to survive.
If it's polluted, it is not good for all the other living things, the aquatic animals, the plants as well.
Once it's gone, well, that's it. We're goners.
It's not like we can ship it in or get it from someplace else. What's here is here, and we need to protect it.
Without clean water, we absolutely jeopardize everything in our lives, in our health, and in our ability to work together.
The day that our water source either dries up or goes bad will be a very bad economic day in Hawaii.
One example that puts this into perspective is the 2-mile Ala Wai Canal. Built in the 1920s to drain coastal wetlands to develop Waikiki, it is now one of the most contaminated bodies of water in the United States. And major sewage spills in 2006 and 2015 temporarily closed the canal, Waikiki, and South Oahu beaches. Pollutants from urban development and sediment from erosion contaminate the Ala Wai Canal. In addition, a 100-year flood in the Ala Wai Watershed, which encompasses the canal and Waikiki, could cost an estimated $1.4 billion in structural damages and affect about 1,350 acres and more than 3,000 properties. The coral reefs near the Ala Wai are also at risk. As in other parts of the world, pollution, coastal development, agricultural runoff, and climate change threaten our coral reef ecosystem. In 2016, the world lost 20% of its coral reefs. By 2050, a majority of the world's reefs will be dead if we don't do something about it as a planet. Here in Hawaii, it wasn't that long ago when people could swim and fish in the waters of the Ala Wai Canal and its nearshore reef. Restoring this natural resource requires understanding how everything is connected and interrelated, from the mountains to the sea. The waters of the canal start their journey at the top of the Ala Wai Watershed, which covers 19 square miles from the Ko'olau Mountains in Upper Manoa through Honolulu's urban core to the canal, harbor, and coral reef. Rainwater falls on the Ko'olau Mountains. It flows down waterfalls into streams that run through urban Honolulu and feed into the Ala Wai Canal, which empties into the harbor and ocean off Waikiki and Ala Moana Regional Park.
And so we embarked on this voyage around the world, and we termed it, the term that came from was called Malama, and that is to care for the earth, a sacred place, only one we got. When we looked at a question like something like sustainability, like in the Hawaiian Islands, that question was already answered 1,000 years ago by a native people. So in our genealogy, in our history, in our stories are pathways to help figure out that equation. But at the same time, that is of yesterday. We're in the 21st century now, and a lot of it comes out of the area of science and technology. The native Hawaiians, I mean, they were great navigators, but they were great naturalists. They cracked the code. They figured out how to live here in balance. And if you would ask the question, how do you define wealth? It was vai. It was water. It was water.
In the Ahupua'a, or area of land running from the mountains to the sea, they kept everything in balance so it could provide all the resources their villages would need, like water for drinking and agriculture, taro, breadfruit, koa wood, kukui nuts, fish, and salt. The Ala Wai Watershed Project seeks to restore balance from the rainforest at the back of Manoa Valley to the forest of undersea coral in the near-shore waters of the Ala Wai. It serves as an example of how to mālama honua, or care for the earth.
The Hawaii Exemplary State Foundation, the Ala Wai Watershed Association, and Iolani School, along with many community partners, are using a systems approach to finding a solution. This means bringing together individuals and their families, community organizations, schools, universities, businesses, and government agencies to work with one another.
For the kindergarten to 12th grade students, this means learning science by doing science, removing invasive species, collecting and analyzing water samples, and being able to use the latest technologies to share data and to collaborate. For others, it means planting vegetation near stream banks to prevent erosion and removing rocks, sediments, and debris to prevent flooding.
To actually make that happen, to get our water to be clean, it's going to take everyone. But at the very same time, what an opportunity, what a possibility for those who can participate in their own great voyages of making contributions that are good for a better Hawaii. And what better place than to protect the wealth of Hawaii by protecting fresh water.
The vision is to work together to create a systems approach model to restore balance to an entire watershed, using indigenous knowledge with science, technology, and the whole of society. This can be replicated across Hawaii, the US, and the globe, and Hawaii can be a model for the rest of the world.
Let's start the conversation.
Let's start the conversation.
Let's start the conversation.
Let's start the conversation.
Let's work together.
Let's work together.
Let's work together.
Let's work together.
Let's talk.